I believe theater is probably one of the most terrifying and yet one of the most intriguing art forms that we have ever discovered, explored, and expanded in our culture. And yet, theater is a subject that is widely prevalent in our conversations, and even at times, opportunities to participate in theater happen, and when they do, more often than not, I would suspect, if you get the invitation to participate in theater in any way, that you would at least be curious, if not completely intrigued, and probably also a little terrified. So that's why I thought it would be very fun and beneficial to have a little short dive into a few books here that are all about theater, particularly here in the United States of America. So first up, I have Theater in America. And in this book, what I like about and what I enjoyed in my brief dive into theater in America is that it does remind you that theater is a complex subject matter. At times, theater may sound like it's just a matter of a script, a few actors, a stage, and a few props. However, professional theater does involve a bit more complexity than just those few elements. So in this particular book, there is the table of contents, which gives some clues as to the complexity of theater. For example, here is a section on educational theater, the professional theater in communities, the challenges of theater, community theater, educational theater. Here are some topics on theater in New York, which of course is synonymous, New York City being synonymous with theater, although the first theater that was built in America, United States of America, is located in Virginia, or was located in Virginia. So what I really enjoyed about this particular book is that it gives us an insight into the complexities of theater. Complexities that may not seem obvious at first. Complexities such as pricing strategies, such as the complexities of what it means to be a live stage actor in your community. Complexities such as the cost of productions. So this book gives insight into the complexities and challenges of professional theater. And then the next book is titled History of Theater in America. And what I enjoyed about this book is that we begin getting into some of the more specific topics that were important as theater evolved in America. So this particular book has a really nice table of contents that gives almost summaries of the chapters. And there's an idea of what the chapter may be about. So the first, American theater. Bitter, puritanical opposition to plays and play acting, severe laws passed prohibiting stage entertainment of any kind, earliest records of theatrical performances in America. And then it goes on to mention some of the actors, some of the locations, and the first theater that's built in America in Williamsburg, Virginia. So this book gets a bit more into the experience, the cultural experience as theater developed in the United States. And therefore a very enjoyable dive into this book called History of Theater in America. And then lastly, just getting back to the idea that theater is both terrifying and intriguing. There's tremendous variety, and in terms of not just plays, but the backgrounds of the writers, the actors. And this book title reminds us of such. Experimenters, rebels, and disparate voices. The theater of the 1920s celebrates American diversity. And so this book begins to delve into the uniqueness from the plays to the writers themselves and to their positions and perspectives. Here's a word that we're familiar with, critics. While critics were generally unanimous in their praise of Jones's contributions to the evolution of a new era in stage design, reviewer Oliver Sayler foreshadowed the shift in direction that Jones's career was soon to follow. And then the text continues. So this particular book reminds us that, again, there's complexities in theater from the experiences of the talent, the writers, of those involved in the theatrical productions, the time periods, the particular challenges of the regions that a play may be developed in. And so this book has a very light tone and may be enjoyable to read a bit further. So these have just been a few texts that are a great starting place for getting some refreshment in terms of what is theater, what is involved in theater, what are the possibilities for theater, what are the histories of theater, what is it like when theater goes through an evolution in a country. And it's a great place to begin if you have any interest, or even if you get or especially if you get an invitation to participate in your local theater or professional theater.